Okay, guys, this is Rule 01, and welcome back. And this is part 9 of What If Deku Had Lelouch's Powers. And we are entering the Forest Training Camp arc. Last time we had the Island event where Deku found out that there's other Geass users in the world, and they might be after him. Anyways, let's continue. As Deku and the rest of Class 1A were on the bus, Deku was thinking about the events of Island. Uraka was sitting next to him holding his hand, and she saw he was worried about something. Is everything alright? Uraka asked. It's fine. I'm worried about what people think of me, Deku answered. After the island event, some people viewed Deku differently. They found out how he got his powers. Uraka and Mei didn't mind at all. Some of their classmates, though, were not sure how they felt about it. The only one who had a bad view of him was Bakugo. Don't worry about it. They will get over it. Me and May still love you. Nothing will change that, Uraka said. Thanks. I wish could be here with us, Deku said as he leaned closer to Uraka. Yeah, since she's in the different course, it can't be helped, Uraka said. Before they left, Deku said goodbye to May and promised to message her regularly. She didn't mind that Deku was spending time alone. Oh, sorry. She didn't mind that Deku was spending alone time with Uraka. She knew that she had a place in his heart. Back in the bus, Suyu spoke to Deku. So, Midoriya, now that your secret's out, you don't have to act all nervous around us. Ribbit. God, sorry. That's Dolores. Thanks, Sue, but I don't think everyone is ready to accept me. The others felt a little guilty in the way they made Deku feel. Well, I don't see how it's a big deal. Sounds pretty cool that Deku has two powers, Mina said. Yes, Midoriya's proven every time and time again that he's worthy of those powers bestowed upon him, Ida said. Many other students agreed with them and began to act normal with Deku. The only one who didn't accept it was Bakugo, thinking that he got everything handed to him, and if it wasn't for that, Deku would still be a quirkless weakling. God damn it, I wanted to die. As they arrived at the rest stop, everyone got off the bus. Deku and Uraraka would look at the forest edge of the cliff, admiring the view. Suddenly, Deku got a small feeling telling him danger was coming. Before coming to training camp, he had a talk with All Might about possibility of having another quirk because of One for All. The information he got from Gran Torino, with the help of Nezu, they were able to figure out what Deku's quirk could possibly be. The recent quirk he discovered on the Island event was the danger sense, and it was easy to understand. Suddenly, the Wild Wild Pussycats came up with Aizawa and explained that they were here to help their training. Pixie Bob mentioned that the cabin is the other side of the forest. Deku suddenly felt a sense, well, huge headache, and he knew something was coming. He grabbed Uraraka just as Pixie Bob used her quirk to drop all the students in the forest. Well, that was unexpected, Pixie Bob said as she saw Deku floating in the air with Uraraka in his arm. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, I forgot. Our top student would be caught off guard, Aizawa said. Well, this won't do, young man. Will you and your girlfriend join the rest of your classmates? It's for your training, Pixie Bob asked politely. Deku did as he was told and lowered himself and put Uraraka down. Pussycats explained how they were allowed to use their quirks and that their first test was to get through the forest and make it to the camp in a certain amount of time. If they don't, they won't get any food. Deku got everyone together and tried to discuss a plan, but Bakugo went off by himself and Kirishima following him. Minato was trying to find a place to do his business, but then he was attacked by one of the beasts. Deku used Black Whip, pulled Minato to safety, then Shoto used ice to trap it. The class suddenly was surrounded by beasts and they started to fight. After the coast was clear, Deku continued trying to come up with a plan to get through the forest. And Uraka says, "Why don't we just fly there? You can carry all of us, can't you?" The class was surprised, thinking that it's impossible because Deku is strong and can fly, but he can carry all of them. "Oh, you mean like in Island?" Suyu said. Everyone looked at her, and she explained that what Deku did during the island. "Well, it could work, but we would be vulnerable in the air. All my concentration has to be focused on flying and carrying everyone," Deku said. "Don't worry about it. We will take care of that," Shota said. So with the plan set, they started with Uraraka making everyone light with her quirk in case anyone falls. Shota, Tokiyami, Jiro, Denki, Aoyama, Mina, each on either side of the group using their long distance quirks to defend them in the air. Deku used Black Whip, picked up everyone, and then floated and made their way to the camp. They made it there before the teachers arrived, surprising them to see so many students. "I thought they would take longer," Mandalay said. "But two students are missing," Ragdoll. She used her sense quirk to see that there was two students still in the forest. "I'm guessing one is Bakugo, but who else?" Aizawa said with a sigh. Deku explained the Bakugo went on his own with Kirishima. "Well, I guess teamwork was part of the test, but also to teach you what you lack," Aizawa said. This confused the students and thinking, what were they lacking? Aizawa continued his explanation. "If you students went through the forest normally, you would have faced constant battles and saw that what your strengths and weaknesses were. Some of you are strong but lack stamina. Some of you lack combat skill. Some of you are in between. Lastly, you guys can't count on someone like Midoriya or All Might to get you out of every situation. There will come a time where you will have to count on yourselves and no one else." The students understood what Aizawa was saying and were eager to get the training started. Deku noticed Koda and went to say hi. As Koda was about to punch Deku, Deku sensed and dodged the punch. Koda still yelled and gave his thoughts about heroes and then walked away. Mandalay apologized for her nephew's actions. The students had their dinner as Bakugo and Kirishima came out of the forest, looking like they'd been through hell. "What the hell? How did you losers get here before us?" Bakugo yelled. Ida explained how the rest of the students worked together to get through the forest. "You all need the help from that cheating nerd? I don't need it," Bakugo yelled. Then Koda came up to Bakugo. Bakugo called Koda Pipsqueak. Then Koda dealt the low blow. Kirishima helping Bakugo, saying, "Low blow, that's not manly." uh, Later, the students relaxed at the hot spring. Mineta was about to do the peep thing, but Deku brought up Black Whip, and his eyes go brighter behind his solid eye, and warned Mineta that if he would use his Gias again and beat the shit out of him if he tried doing that. And Mineta almost shit his pants right there. Okay. Students would do the same training as in the anime, but Deku would mostly do physical training and sparring hand-to-hand combat with some students who need help with hand-to-hand combat. Deku feels his Gias going to evolve again. Then he wondered. No, sorry. Deku felt his Gias was going to get evolved, and he was worried about what might happen. Deku one day finds Koda in his hiding spot and has a conversation about heroes with him. Koda still isn't happy with the conversation, and Deku understands why Koda doesn't like heroes because of what happened to his parents, the Water Hills heroes. Deku tried to hang out with Koda and Koda would slowly start to change his mind. Deku also helped Koda train his quirk using Black Whip to show him how he could possibly do with his water quirk, and showed him his grappling hook. The day the villain attack happens, Deku is holding hands with Uraraka, waiting for their turn and test of courage. Then part of the forest starts being set on fire. This time the villain attack is different. Some of the members are missing. The villains attacking are Dobby, Muscular, Moonfish, Twice, Compressed, Magni, and accompanied by a couple of gnomes make up for the missing members. The missing members, such as Togo, Spinner, Mustard, they followed Stain and are trying to change Hero Society with him. Koda is still missing and Mandalay asks Deku to go find her nephew. Deku makes it to the mountain where Muscular tries to kill Koda, but is able to punch him away and save Koda. Muscular walks toward Deku. Not bad. I almost felt that. No way. I did hold back, but he should be knocked out, Deku thought in his mind. Anyways, do you know a kid named Izuku Midoriya? Bakulo? Muscular said. What do you want with them? Deku demanded. Our boss wants something to see if they want to join us, or if not, to eliminate them. I don't really care. All I want is a fight. Deku then used his Geass to control Muscular, then a blue light was emitted from Muscular's fake eye as it was a Geass counselor. So that makes you Izuku Midoriya. Lucky me. Muscular continued to laugh as he was walking towards them. Koda began to tug on Deku's shirt, and he was shaking, with tears in his eyes. Koda quietly whispered to Deku that this was the man who killed his parents. This enraged Deku, but he kept his composure. The most important thing is to get Koda's safety and get info back to everyone. Deku told Koda that he could use his quirk, and like he taught him, to get down from the cliff, because this is going to be a fight. And Muscular would be a hard opponent for him, especially with him here. Koda said he couldn't. He needed more practice, so Deku takes off his watch and gives it to Koda, telling him how to use it to get down. Koda goes down the mountain while Deku fights Muscular. What's this? Sorry, my bad. This is what I'm talking about. A real fight. Deku and Muscular kept colliding fists and caused many shockwaves, echoing through the whole forest. Deku was slowly being overwhelmed by Muscular as he kept growing more and more muscle fibers. Deku decided to change tactics and used Black Whip and wrapped it around Muscular's hands. But he broke through and then punched Deku, breaking a few of his ribs. Deku coughed up blood and he was in pain, but he had to get back up. He had to take down Muscular, but his quirk is making it hard to hurt him, and his hands are covered in those fibers. Then Deku recognized his upper body. His fibers covered his legs. Sorry, his fibers only covered the upper part of his body, and his legs were unprotected. Deku charged the Muscular and then locked arms with him, keeping him still for a few seconds, then using Black Whip to wrap Muscular's legs and break them. Muscular screamed in pain, but this wasn't over, and he tried to punch Deku, but Deku dodged, used Black Whip, wrapped around, and pulled Muscular to him and punches him in the face, launching him into the air, then slams him back down the ground with Black Whip. Muscular is down. Deku rips the Geass cancer out of Muscular's eye, thinking it might be useful later. After getting where Koda was waiting for him down the mountain, they made their way back to the camp. They eventually make it to where Aizawa just fought the Dobby clone. Deku leaves Koda and the device with Aizawa, and then he goes to help the other students. Deku runs into Shoji and Tokiyami as he's going on a rampage. Deku uses Geass to get him under control. Thank you, Midoriya. And I'm sorry, Choji. I lost control, Tokiyami said with his, edgy voice. Don't worry about it. Let's go help the others, Shoji said. The three students worked their way to Uraraka and Tsuyu are. Hey guys, are you alright? Deku said. Yeah, Deku, we're fine. Uraka answered. She was a little bit out of breath. They suddenly heard an explosion, and they knew that what that meant, and they rushed toward the battle. They spot Bakugo and Todoroki fighting Moonfish. When they arrived, Deku used his black whip to wrap around Moonfish's teeth, giving Todoroki and Bakugo a chance to blast him. Thanks for the assistance, Midoriya. Save your thanks. I don't need help from this nerd. Or yours, Bakugo said. With Moonfish defeated, they make their way towards the Pussycats and the other students. As they make their way, Compress managed to capture Bakugo and Tokiyami. Deku chased after him, managing to knock out the marbles of his hands with Black Whip. He was able to reach them, then he sensed danger and dodged a blue wall of flame. Dabi was there holding a marble that had Bakugo in it as he went into the portal and disappeared. Deku punched the ground in frustration. He failed to save everyone. Bakugo got captured by the League of Villains. Uraka was there to reassure Deku, telling him that he did his best and that's all he could do. After that, all the students and teacher gathered together. All the villains were still there. The ones that were captured were Muscular, Mangi, and Moonfish. Magni. Sorry. Fuck. Okay. Ragdoll was not captured due to most of the students being together and able to fight. Momo still put the tracker on one of the Nomu and gave it to the heroes. Deku and any injured are taken to the hospital. Deku suffered a few broken ribs from his fight with Muscular, but a quick session with Recovery Girl, and he was back to 100%. Deku was in the hospital room with Uraraka at his side, and as the door opened, then Inku walked in, followed by Mei. Inku rushed over and hugged her son, who winced in pain. He was healed, but they were still sore. Mei came up and kissed Izuku. Inku and Mei wanted to know what happened, so Deku and Uraraka explained the events. Inku did not want to see Deku hurt. She couldn't handle the stress, but she understood he got hurt helping others, and she was proud of him. All Might came later and asked to speak with Deku in private, and how they needed his help for the villain raid. Deku was confused on how he could help fight the villains, and then All Might explained that he could interrogate Shigaraki with his power and they could get valuable intel. Deku agreed to do it. He went to interrogate Shigaraki, providing them with lots of intel so they were better prepared for the raid. Deku went back to school with the new dorm system in place and everyone was getting settled. For the few days Deku hung out with Mei and Uraraka, he got a letter from Koda thanking him for saving him. Kirishima came up to Deku and asked if they could all meet up. There was something they needed to discuss. All Class 1A students met in the common room, and Kirishima voiced his thoughts. I want to rescue Baku, bro. Everyone was surprised at this suggestion. Come on, guys, we have to do something, Kirishima pleaded. No, we have to leave it to the pros, Ida said, doing the hand chop motion that he usually does. I agree, we weren't pros yet. We shouldn't be involved, Momo said. Come on, Midoriya, you were his friends with him. You have to agree with me. Deku sighed. We're not friends anymore. He changed. But besides the point, the heroes are going to get him back. All we can do is be patient. I'm sick and tired of waiting. I need to do something, Kirishima yelled, banging his fist against the wall. Do what exactly? If you go rescue him while he's being held by villains, and they are strong, and not to mention they have Nomos, which are as strong as All Might. What can you do in that situation? Deku argued. Kirishima was taken aback. He didn't think it through. Well, it's better than doing nothing. Kirishima, if you go rescue Bakugo, not only are you putting your life in danger, but you're also putting Bakugo's in danger. What if you act now and they escape with Bakugo and never return again? We'll never find him. Kirishima wanted to argue, but he couldn't come up with the answer, and he stood with his mouth agape. Midoriya is right. Rushing in unprepared would cause more problems, Todoroki said. Feeling defeated, Kirishima ran to his room and slammed the door. Deku asked Momo if Kirishima or anyone... Okay, sorry. Later that night, Deku asked Momo if Kirishima or anyone asked the tracker not to give it to them, and she promised not to do so. Deku then later, before going to bed, kissed Uraraka goodnight, then went to his room. Then Deku received a text from All Might. If he was ready, he suited up and sneaked out the window.